Okay, we're on page 381 in our Go Math books, and we are looking at some formulas for area of a triangle. And we're looking at 1 and 2 on page 381. And the new thing that we're doing on our previous lessons, we did area of a triangle equals base times height divided by 2. Today, we're kind of doing that same area of a triangle, but instead of dividing by 2, we are changing from dividing by 2 to just simply multiplying by a half. So we're doing 1/2 base times height to get the area of a triangle instead of base times height divided by 2. Now, both formulas will work, whichever formula you'd like to use, but as you will see in problem number 2, we're going to want to use that new formula, 1/2 base times height, to find our answer in problem 2. So let's see how this works. Let's try number 1 here. It's got a base of 14 and a height of 8. And if we do that 1/2 base times height, what I want you to understand is we just have to cut something in half. We could cut 8 in half, or we could cut 14 in half. I'm going to cut 14 in half. If I cut 14 in half, 8 times 7 is 56. So my area of that triangle is 56. Now, if I didn't cut it in half and I did 14 times 8, if I did 14 times 8, I would get 112, and then I would still have to go back and divide that by 2. 112 divided by 2 is going to be 56. So I'm hoping you can kind of understand that cutting something in half could possibly be a little bit easier than multiplying and then going back and dividing by 2. So if you do half of 14 is 7, keep 8 the same, 8 times 7 is 56, or you could still go back and do 14 times 8, which is 112, divided by 2 is 56. Your answer for that one is going to be 56. Now for number 2, here's where you want to use that new formula, 1/2 base times height. In the problem, we don't know what the height is. We know the base is 22, and we don't know the height. So they tell us the area equals 132. Now, we plug in that new formula, 1/2 times the base times the height, and we can actually figure out the missing piece. Now, we know the area is 132. We want to find out what the h is. The 22 is the base. So I'm going to plug in 132 equals 1/2 times 22 times h. I guess I should keep my h a lowercase h just to keep everybody on the same page here. So 22 times h. The next step is I need to cut 22 in half. Half times 22 gives me 11. I'm going to put 11 next to h, and that is still equal to 132. Because they are multiplying 11 times h, in order to undo that, I need to divide by 11. If I divide by 11 on one side, I need to divide by 11 on the other side. My 11s cancel. I am left with h by itself. I want to do 132 divided by 11. And if I do 132 divided by 11, I get 12. So 132 divided by 11 is 12. So my answer for the height is 12. I know the height is 12. Now, the one thing that's kind of neat is we can go back and check our work with this algebra-like problem. I want to plug in for h, I want to plug in 12. I want to times it by 22, and I want to times it by a half, or 0.5. If you do 12 times 22 times a half, you will end up with 132, which will make that answer correct. Once again, we're on page 381. We're working on triangle, 1/2 base times height, or triangle equals base times height divided by 2. And there are 2 problems that you can figure out for your triangle area problems.